Hello, everybody. My name is Marcell, and this is the Rant-A-Way podcast, where we don't talk about our favorite things. We rant away about them. I have my co-host and his cat with me here today, Money Green. Money Green, what's going on the first?
Not much, man. I didn't even know it was the first, apparently. But, no, I'm good. Cat is good. Cat's sleeping under the bed. But, yeah, we're here. We're here.
We live in the
We're gonna do our
building.
thing. Yeah, we're gonna try to do our thing. I ain't even got the shot clock going because I don't think we're gonna need it. But,
Yeah, no, as soon as it says 30,
yeah.
we gone. All right. Little homework today, guys. No extra credit. Before you get your jammies ruffled, don't even. It's gonna be over before you know it.
Yeah, I don't even think there's gonna be no Jamie's ruffling. I've been out of touch. I've been hella out of touch with what's going on. Well, I mean, a little bit, but yeah, I don't even know what's making the world mad today.
Well, I don't know either. All I know is that it's another day. My smoke detector's beeping, and it's annoying me because I can still hear it. I hope the recording's not picking it up, but if it is, it's whatever. It's fine. Thanks to everyone for the last episode. I know we had a break in between because of life and scheduling, but we're back. So to our one viewer, don't worry, we're alive. We're 6 feet over. We're well, and we hope you're doing well too. All right, Money Green. With all that being said, what do you have for us today?
Nothing.
Great, guys. With that being said, the Bible said it was early in the morning.
So laughing. Can you just imagine? Everybody is like, yeah, we did the music and everything, and they show up, and then because the premiere don't tell you how long it's gonna be.
Nope. April Fools.
But to the people who do listen, they're like, oh yeah, let's hear what they had to say, and then it's like, that's it. This is it, and the outro music starts playing now, and
that's it.
It's a wrap.
That's the lost episode.
You're like, yeah, what the heck is that?
That is content.
That would be hilarious. But I mean, I do got something. I got something that's near and dear to us. Well, I mean, probably not so near and dear to you. Well, I mean, yeah.
Uh-oh.
What I want to know is how do you go about dealing with your backlog? Let's talk about backlogs today.
Backlog in like video games or just in general?
In everything.
Okay. So for our core audience out there, the video gamers, we love you. Okay. I was telling somebody yesterday that don't buy another game until you've completed at least 2. That's a good way that I do it. In real life, dude, honestly, just writing it down goes a long way. Just being able to have something physical and be like, oh yeah, I do have that thing that I need to take care of before it actually shows up. I know some people like come alive in the nighttime and get it done at like the 12th hour, but not everyone's like that, and that's okay. So for me personally, I like to write everything down so it's tangible. It's there. I can refer to it in case I forget something, because we're so busy doing like 20 gajillion things a day that some things just slip through the cracks. So for me, I have it written down. I always write our podcast on our Sundays for this day and the premiere on the next day, and give it that level of like, this is important to me and I'm going to make it a priority. So that's how I handle it. Someone could have something different. Maybe you have something different, Money. What's your way? Tell me your strap.
So me, right? I'll tell you. So I used to, yeah, I guess I have to say that now. I used to have a really great memory, like things that I wanted to do, ideas that I had and stuff like that. Like I'd have them in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and even like 2, 3, 4 months, if I didn't get to do it, I would still remember it in my head. And so I never really used to worry about it. Like write anything down. Like I never really wrote anything down. But now, I mean, I'm getting a bit older. I'm not too old, but I'm getting older. And I guess, with life in the way that it likes to life, I just be forgetting stuff now. So, or it just, pops out of my brain or whatever. So I probably am gonna have to do what you said and start writing some more stuff down.
This is gonna be a morbid
But
episode.
nah, it's not gonna be morbid because I mean, but you know, it's the comedy, of the backlogs. Because you know, every time we talk about it, it's like yeah, you know, we try to get one thing done, or we do get one thing done, and then we be in the middle of tackling another thing, and then you know, four more things pop up, or you know, something else happens, and you know, we joke about it because I mean, it's a luxurious problem to have, you
Oh
know, but
yeah,
a
for
lot of it,
sure.
it's not like yeah, it's not like we missing out on anything like important. Like we missing, you know, rent payments or car payments
Yeah,
or
no, don't
whatever
backlog
to
that.
do
Yeah,
this and
no,
that.
you'll be out on the street real
Yeah,
quick.
it's like you know movies you want to watch or things you want to play or shows you want to watch or you know books to read or whatever the case may be and you know but you know because for me it started with like when I started reading like fan fictions
Hmm.
I just wanted like more like I wanted more Naruto stuff to read. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I went looking for like one story, and I was like, all right, I'll read this one. And then as I'm reading this one, you know, you could click on the thing and see like what other people wrote in same category. So it's like, all right, you know, you start looking at that, and then you're like, all right, this one seems like it has an interesting synopsis. This one seemed like it has an interesting description. This one seemed like a thing. Oh, this one's about this character. So then, you know, I start bookmarking them, and then you know, all of a sudden I ended up with like a list. Like the list is like huge, and it's like, man, how the hell am I ever going to get through all of these? And then, you know, as that goes on, you start thinking you might watch, like I might watch like, you know, another anime, or I might watch, you know, Justice League, or I might watch, you know, something, and I'm like, oh, do they have fan fictions for this too? They do, and you start looking for those, and then you
Hmm.
start bookmarking all of those, and you start bookmarking, you know, some in the next category, or you're into one story so my problem some usually is like I be into like one thing and then
And then it
like
just branches.
the moment like yeah, like the moment it starts to like, all right, maybe this chapter isn't as interesting as the other ones. So I start looking around and seeing like, you know, I have an idea about, you know, wanting to see this type of story play out. And I go looking around for it and I find like 15 other stories that also grab my interest and I don't bookmark them. So it's like I'm never like knocking one or more than one or two out before I'm adding like, you know, 10, 15, 20 more. And then I was looking at my thing one time, just like, man, I ain't ever gonna finish this. I'm gonna die with, you know, all of this like unfinished because where you get the time. And then when you start thinking about, you know, things you want to read, things you want to watch, things you want to play, and it's just like you got to go to work, you got to sleep, you got to eat, you know, you got to do all these other things. You know, you got to go out, socialize,
Yeah.
you know, be a functioning member of society. So it's like you just don't have enough time on your hands. Again, not a bad problem to have, but it's just
But these are
it's an
things
interesting
that,
one.
make people feel fulfilled. If you don't, it's like a work-life balance. If you don't have that time for fun, then it might affect your productivity. If you're too knee deep in your work and you love doing it, you're missing out on like your social life. You're missing out on your family. You're missing out on your misses or your husbandos and all that stuff. So it is a balance. I always like to keep myself in the framework that there's 24 hours in a day and 8 of it goes to sleeping. The rest of it you figure out. Now, obviously, if you're working, then you know that you have to give at least 4 to 8 hours, maybe sometimes 10, right? But it's like, I'm gonna do a crazy analogy, okay? And you might know what I'm talking about, money. You ever played Naruto Uzumaki Chronicles?
Yeah.
Okay, so like in that game, when you get ready to like make your character stronger, they give you different
Hmm.
shapes, and you have to fit the
Hmm.
different like pieces, the squares, the triangles, the trapezoids in that shape to make all of it
Hmm.
fit.
Yep.
So it's kind of like that. I know that I can't. I mean, I can do things on top of my 3 to 11, but it has to be that the job comes first, kind of thing. And then everything else underneath it, I can do to supplement or get ready for something to do outside of the 3 to 11. Then after that, what can I give 2 hours to? For me, it's the gym. After that, what else can I do? I can give the other 2 hours to, a little bit of a game or a 2 hour movie kind of thing. And then for my last hour before bed at 5 a.m., because I have to be up at 1 again, 7 to 8 hours is very important, people. It's like, what do you want to do in your last hour? Oh, I can get ready for tomorrow, or I can start planning some things for the next day. Because remember, you don't have to do the same thing every single day. On Monday, you can do what I just described. On Tuesday, you can do the same thing, but tweak it with, instead of a game, you read a book. Instead of the gym, you watch a movie. Instead of watching the movie, you go to bed early, wake up early, and then you do something in the morning time, kind of thing. Like, there's all these different ways to like move the pieces around and still get it done, because the biggest factor in all of this is time. Even if it's just 30 minutes, right? Like, it's podcast, we're still doing it regardless. When it when it comes to
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to do all these different things? We end up like getting paralyzed by just like the choice of it all. And it's like, listen, just start with one and just do it. When I was buying Forspoken, I was like, okay, I know I'm backlogged, but like, I want to get this game, right? So as a reminder for me, I still have Final Fantasy X on my desk. I still have Forspoken on my desk. I still have Mega Man, which was my main game that I was backlogging to start working on all this stuff. And then I still have Crime Boss on top of my desk as well. Like, literal physical reminders that it's like, yeah, you can do these other things, but just remember that these are here in the background as well. And that's just for gaming, right? If it's anything else, then, fill in the blanks as you see fit. But that's how I do it, right? And then, me, I trophy hunt my games. And when I'm done with one, I take a week off from like hardcore gaming. I watch a movie.
Hmm.
I'll catch up on something that I haven't got to in a while. So like when I finished, I want to say, when I finished the Avatar game, I went back and finished out the 13th box set of Naruto, because I was binging them like the main stories, and then I got to the filler parts where it's just all these I think it's like 5 or 6 different box sets of just all filler. So I was like, okay, watch some filler here, maybe 2 episodes a day, boom, 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 boom. But now it's like I finish a game, I switch it over to movie time, pop it up in the Discord if anyone wants to come in, right? Building up on that social side of things, and then just keeping the machine turning. So that's how I do it, right? It could be different for you. It could be different for someone else. It could be for someone who's like, well, I only get 2 hours of sleep. You should definitely fix that, because that's not good. And figure out how to make those pieces fit. I think I'm getting a thumbnail in mind, and this is great. So thank you for this. But yeah, that's what I have for when it comes to backlogging in real life and in gaming.
No, that's legit. I mean, when you was explaining about how you go about your day, it was sounding like you was playing Persona 5, where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna read a book this day, or I'm gonna, watch a movie that night, or I'm gonna, your morning activity, then your afternoon activity, and then your night activity, and then, Morgana telling you sometimes that you can't go outside because you got to do something else
Go to
today, or
sleep.
yeah, I mean, but yeah, nah, I mean that's legit. Cause I mean, hey, everybody, take it a step at a time, and then too, when you finish one thing, it's kind of like I think of it as like digesting food. Like I finished the show
Mhm.
recently that I was binging, and I'm just like, all right, what next? Cause you're just so used to like, all right, when I'm eating, I'm gonna watch this show. When I'm sitting still, I want to watch TV, I'm gonna watch this show. So I'm gonna try to get it done. Whenever I get a free time or I'm on break or whatever, and I want to watch something, I'm gonna watch the show. Same thing with a game. When you're playing a game, like, all right, when I get time for the game, I'm gonna play this game. Free time, try to play this game. Oh, I got a day off and I don't have nothing I want to do. All right, I can like really go hard in this game, make a lot of progress. And like you said, when you trophy hunt, which put a pin in that. When you trophy hunt, for things like, all right, you might be like, all right, let me try to get these hard ones done today since I got time. And
Yeah.
other times when you don't, let me try to get these easy ones out the way. Or let me try to get these one's done when I'm, like playing the story or whatever. So yeah, and then when you finish that, you want to like take a little break before you just dive into, because I mean it's an adventure. Before you dive into like the next
Right.
adventure, starting all over from scratch. All right, let me play something that's fun. The
Yeah.
thing that I usually had a problem with, I told a friend of mine, I would say that I'd be like, I know I gotta play, like I got a bunch of games that I gotta play or whatever, and it's like I got time to do it. Like I got these days off, or I got the weekend coming up, or whatever. I might have took an extra day or something like that. And then it's like I get this weird inkling to play this game that got like nothing to do with nothing. Like I got time that I should be giving to whatever game I gotta play, but I just feel like playing Grand Theft Auto. So I'm just gonna play Grand Theft Auto. Or, I feel like, playing Batman again. So let me go play Batman again. And it kind of takes away from the time that I had that I could be knocking something else up. So it's them like
Oh
distractions or
yeah,
whatever.
listen,
You
that's
ever
that's that's how it goes. But I think it's also because like it's like a, what do they say, comfort gaming, like comfort food, but for gaming kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And that's what it is. When I finished what I had to do in Persona, I was under the impression that I had to do like 16 side missions on the same day. And I have the paper in front of me, and all of them say August 24th. But what they didn't distinguish is that some, like the other 8 missions, are unlocked after you take care of the boss on that day. So I was like, okay, cool. Now I can just leave it for stream, and then when I'm done beating the boss on stream, and I'm in my own time, I can put some more time aside to deal with the side missions. But there was this moment in my brain where it was like, wow, there's all these things I have to do in this one thing, and I only have like maybe 4 or 5 hours to do it, and I just don't feel like it, right? But if I'm doing something else, now I feel like doing that Persona thing. So it kind of like flip flops, and you have to be able to like wrangle that thing in sometimes, and just be like, no, we got to work through this now, and then figure out what the next thing is. Now, if you already have your list planned out with your priorities from most concerning to not as, then go for it or flip it. But once I got like those 8 missions done, and I realized that the other 6 were reserved for after stream stuff, I was like, okay, I can technically do some Forspoken stuff now with just clearing up the main mission map before I step out to the rest of the story, because I'm kind of locked in a spot where I can't progress unless I go through a cutscene, which is reserved for stream only. I did like maybe 10-15 minutes of Forspoken, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go play Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like, I just like, once you're done with something like that objective, and your brain just goes, yep, reward earned, you just don't feel like doing like the next task unless that's what you specifically want to do. Now again, I do want to work on Forspoken, I just don't want to work on it right now. It's not a priority
Right.
right now. And again, people's mileage will vary about what they want to get done right now or put off for later, but us, it's just like, we do a lot outside of our games. We want to keep that same effort, but sometimes it's like, I'm just tired. I'm tired. I want to play something that I
That
know, that I'm comfortable with. I don't want to feel
Yeah,
like I have to
or that I
relearn
want to, or
something.
that I'm gonna enjoy. You know, like
Yeah.
sometimes you're in the mood for certain things. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm not in the mood for like it's like it's a puzzle or it's this or that or whatever. Like I'm not in the mood for this. I just want to turn something on and just like run around or just drive around or just do this or that or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, I know I should be doing this, but if the games ever feel like working, that's why I said like I say it all the time. Like it's supposed to be fun. If the games feel like work, that's why I don't really subscribe to like things where it's like, oh, yeah, dailies, weeklies, whatever. Like, if you can make it fun, then sure. But if it's not, if it feels like, yeah, I got to do this because I have to hit these objectives or check these boxes or whatever the case may be to do this. That's why I don't really like games kind of like Saints Row and some of the other ones where they're like, yeah, you can't get to the main story unless you do some of these side things first. And it's like, you're making me do things that I may not want to do to get to the things that I actually want to do. Or, like, yeah, you could go tackle the main thing, but, you're going to be under leveled. So, you're really supposed to just grind out XP by doing this thing on the side. So it's like, those type of things is like things that I don't really like. So it's a lot of times like I kind of shy away from stuff like that unless
Hmm.
like I gotta be in the mindset to want to grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's a grind, so I gotta be in the mindset to want to do that. And if I'm not in the mindset to want to do that, then I kind of don't want to touch it. And it kind of like falls back a little bit with, all right, this is in front of my mind. I feel like doing this. That is in front of my mind to do that. Like, I know I gotta get back to this game or whatever, but like all these other things are like in front of me, or I might get like an inkling. All right, I feel like playing Overwatch, or I feel like playing Yu-Gi-Oh, or I feel like this or that or whatever. And then the further that thing gets push back, push back, push back, push back, and it's just like, man, I forgot I got to get back to that, but it's like I'm kind of so far behind, I kind of forgot about this and that or whatever. I just end up not touching it. Me
Well,
personally, that's how it goes for me. Like that's probably why still haven't finished the Final Fantasy project yet, because
you
it
need to
was like
finish God
I
of
was really
War is what you need to do.
you see what I mean? Like I was looking at that this morning, thinking like, yeah, I should just pop that in. But the problem is, right?
Hmm.
If the problem is, like I just started Star Wars. So you know me, like I do all these projects and
Wow,
then
you picked Star Wars over, dude.
yeah, I'm playing Fallen Order because I want to play Jedi Survivor. But the reason why I don't want to think God of War is because I know God of War like it's gonna demand me to like go straight. And if like I don't want to start God of War and then stop God of War and then get distracted by something else, and then put God of War on like the back burner for a little bit, because God of War is a story that I need to give like my attention to straight. So I don't want to get into something else and then forget about God of War, because then when I get back to God of War, I'm gonna be wanting to start over again so that I can
No,
keep
I'll
the
remind
story
you.
going straight.
I'll be the
Well,
physical
that's what I'm.
object on your desk to be
Well, I
like, you need to
mean,
play this
nah,
game
cause I
now.
mean that, cause that's what happened with what you call Horizon
You haven't touched Horizon yet?
Forbidden. Yeah, so the problem with Horizon
Who
is
are
like
you?
I started Horizon twice. I started it once. I think I got to like maybe a quarter way through the story, and then other stuff kept popping up, and then it was like, oh man, I kind of forgot how to play. I kind of forgot what's going on with the story. So then I started it again when I think like Forbidden West was starting to gain traction and whatever. I was like, yeah, let me go beat Zero Dawn, so I could be up the thing with that. And I started it again, got a little bit far, and then some more stuff popped up, and then I stopped. And then it's like, nah, I don't know why I'm at in the thing. Same thing happened with Tales of Arise. Same thing. I had to do that
Yo,
twice.
did you ever finish Tales of Arise?
I did not. See, that's what I'm saying.
You know what,
I
man?
got, I got to the,
You got
I
8
got
minutes
to the,
left.
I got to the, I got to the part where everybody gets tripped up thinking that that's the end of the game.
Oh, you're
I got
there.
to that part. Yeah, I got to that part, and then I was kind of just like, yeah, I was so ready to be done with the game. Like I did my, what do you call it? Like when when you're on like a long marathon or you're on like a long race or whatever, and
Hmm.
you push everything for like that final stretch.
It's like
That's
that
what I
Kirk
did with
Franklin song. And we will praise you
yeah,
for
that's what
the rest of our days. And then it's quiet, and it's
yeah
just
that
like,
that
yes.
that final stretch, yeah, that final stretch. So I put on like that final stretch mode, trying to get done with Tales of Arise, and
Okay, but
I pushed
however,
to the finish line.
in
And then it was
someone's
like, yo, you got a whole like you got more to go, and I was just like,
but
and I
wait,
was
in someone's defense and to someone's credit, did Persona 5 not do the same thing?
uh
Because we
Persona
thought it was
5.
going to end at Shido, and it didn't end at Shido.
Oh, when you got to go down to mementos, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Shido probably should have been it, yeah. And yeah, you get that kind of feeling. But I mean,
I mean, don't get me wrong, Persona's
uh,
way of doing it was a lot more engaging because, like, you already spent like
that's what I was
75 hours
saying.
with these kids.
I
But, like, for me, I enjoyed the cast of Tales of Arise, right? But it was
I
like,
did too.
then finish it.
No, but I did too.
No!
No, I did too. But I'm saying I agree with what you said. Like it was more engaging with, because that's why I was saying I was trying to remember, and I was like, Persona probably did do that, and I was like, yeah, I can see where you think like being Shido would make everything feel like it came full circle. But like Tales of Arise, like I would have to say, Persona did it. I agree with you, like in a more engaging way. But the way that Tales of Arise did it was a lot more tricky. Like Tales of Arise really makes you feel like yo, the game is over, and then they pop out with this extra arc, and you just kind of like I legitimately was not prepared to go on. Like I thought I was done.
But now that you know that you
And
are summoned again, you must answer the call.
I know I think that the only other thing that kind of does it like that is Red Dead 2.
Man, I still have
Yeah.
that in my save later list. I'm going through like a whole Disney and DreamWorks collection. Like I'm just gathering up all these different movies in my Amazon wish list. Which, if anyone wants to buy something from me, I'd love you very much. No, I'm kidding. um, but yeah, I got a Disney collection going. I've got my DreamWorks collection going. I don't remember all of the shows on like Cartoon Network I used to watch like that, but like the Thundercats one comes to mind. A few like TV shows like Designated Survivor, Southland kind of thing pops up into my head. So like I'm just trying to get a list ready because that's also a backlog too. Like I bought the 5 film Godzilla collection, the 5 film
Oh,
Transformer
absolutely.
collection. Haven't even
That's why I
watched
said
them yet,
everything.
but like it's
Yeah,
like
movies, shows, game. Yeah,
yeah,
it's more than game.
it's all about time management, guys. It's all about time management.
Yeah. I think that like I like to think like if we ever get to an age where we actually could retire, I mean the cost of living
Hmm.
ain't looking too good for us. But if we ever get to a point in life where we do actually get to retire and get some free time, I mean, maybe we'll be able to put a good dent in these things. But I mean, I'm
What do we
30.
do
You're
now?
like,
You want to go to
you're
work?
30. You're 30, late 20s. You're so it's like, by the time we get to like 65, how much more we gonna have on that list? How much
Listen,
more we gonna have on that list?
just means you find something new to do. I mean, like, we already have like the luxury that like we've, at least as far as the shows go, we've seen these already. We just want to see them again with new eyes. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with video games. And actually, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna use that point. I'm gonna play the opposite way. I'm gonna be a little devil. Sometimes I think people like the idea of like making plans, setting things up, talking themselves up, and then never actually executing it. Sometimes it's the feeling that you're gonna get something done, but then not actually committing to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
I mean,
Now,
I do it all the time.
now that's just for general stuff. When it comes to the video gamers, I'm looking at all of you with your sweaty cheese puff fingers. All right. Let me stop. When it comes to video games, you guys jump into the hype. Oh, hold on. I hear the sirens. The cops know I'm onto something. Give it a minute. All right. You guys get into the hype of something that's getting released. It spikes, it releases, you buy it, you play it, interest drops, it picks back up, and then it just hovers until the servers close, right?
These days, yeah.
Let's oh, perfect. Wukong. Okay.
Hmm.
I haven't played it. It's not on my radar right now. I'm not interested in getting it at this point just because again, I am serious about my backlog. I have other games that I want to play that I'm more interested in playing instead of starting something all over again, right? If you want to knock out your backlog, do two things, then get one. Or however much you can handle. I recommend you start small and then work your way up. But if you want to get that thing done, don't buy something until you've gotten at least two things done. Or make the equivalent exchange make sense. Type of thing, right? If you want to do movies, sure, you can bang out like maybe 2 movies a day. It's 4 hours. It's a part-time shift, okay? It's doable, right? Maybe sometimes you have to do it to the level of like where you're like balancing a checkbook or you're crunching numbers where you're like, okay, I make this much at work. I spend this much on food. I spend this much for gas and I do it at this week at this time on this day. Right? But once you get it to that level of such like Excel sheeting, you're like, oh, I know where I can put my time in to do the thing I want to do. Again, that's how I personally do it, and I've had no problem since. I still play my games like I'm supposed to. I still go to the gym like I'm supposed to. I got a whole girlfriend I gotta look after because nobody said this was gonna be easy, but it's like you can find ways to make the pieces fit. Some might be bigger than others, but it is doable. And like all things, if there is a will, there's a way. And if you want to do it, you will. Can the church say amen?
Absolutely. Amen. So I got a question. I got a question for you because I know you're like really like I know you're like.
The
I had
answer
the
is
word
the
in my head, but
Australian spider.
I can't remember what word I had in my head for it. But I know like you're really like good at being like your own person, doing things your own way,
Hmm.
and I know that you're really disciplined. But does the feeling of like it's not really like FOMO, but it's kind of like new game like new game hype obviously the thing you just said that.
Hmm.
But does is the feeling of like, everybody is like on this game, it's a game that like, you're kind of interested in or whatever, or it's like there's a new game coming out, like kind of like new game smell, like new car smell or
Oh
whatever,
yeah,
like
for
you
sure. I
just
mean,
you
there's
just you just want you just want something new. You
yeah,
want to
you
play
just want
what's
something
new.
new, and
You
then
know what I
once you
mean?
finally have it in your hands, in your room, and you're just kind of like, okay, like I got it. Now what? It's like if I mean, I harp on the whole be the first to play, and I think that's just a complete joke. Like if someone told me I'm the first to play and you're the first to play, and we both buy the game at the same time, who's really the first to play? It's just a marketing tactic. For me, I'm already out of that phase of like missing out on something where it's like if they don't stop making it entirely, it's going to be out there somewhere, or someone will have a copy of it, right? There's that PS4 Deadpool game, right? Now obviously they're not selling it online anymore, and they're not selling it in stores physically, but there are a few 100,000 copies out there that someone may be like, yeah, sure, I'm selling it. It might be a crazy high price, but It's on the table to take.
or like your Godzilla game.
Exactly. So yeah, when it comes to like new games or that I want to be a part of this thing, it's really like your kind of like your ooga booga brain a little bit, trying to get into that group think mode. Which if that's what you want to do, sure, there's ways to moderate it, but I think when a new game comes out and you know you got other stuff to do, if you play that game or not, you still have like 5 other games that you had that you want to play that have been waiting for a minute, right? Make time for it. The same way, Wukong might be on my backlist some years in the future, right? But I'm not going to get it now. Some people just like to be like, oh, it's like insurance. Hope you never have to use it, but it's there if you need it. Kind of thing. Maybe that example probably would have worked with a gun, but I don't know how YouTube feels about that. So, but you get the point, right? Know how to use it, hope you never have to, kind of thing. And I honestly, sometimes I think when it comes to like new release of anything, there are going to be groups of people that want to genuinely like the game or the thing that's in question for being on sale. There's going to be people that genuinely dislike it for whatever reason they have. And then there's going to be an inverse of both parties where that person is pretending to like it because they want to fit in. And then there's going to be the people that pretend to hate it because they want to be a part of the group. And if it's all adding up to your backlog, you're not doing yourself any favors. It's such a mental like hoop and a hurdle to try to fit in to that extent, because you constantly have to play both sides. You constantly have to be up to date on everything. You constantly have to follow whatever the ambiguous quote unquote leader is to all of this. It's like people just started saying demure out of nowhere, right? It's like, where are people downloading their consciousnesses from? Like,
I don't even know what that's about.
Yeah, but
I've seen it, but I don't know.
Yeah, but you see that it shows up, and then people grab it, and then they're like, I don't want to say like, oh, this is my personality now, but you kind of get that feeling where it's like, well, I don't want to feel left out. I want to feel like I'm a part of something. I'm a social creature, so it makes sense. Ooga booga, I'm gonna start saying demure, kind of thing.
Right.
But it doesn't always have to be that way. You can literally just walk the beat of your own drum and take confidence in the fact that whatever you do, it's off of your decision. Now, I know some people do like being or having things decided for them and being like, you're gonna do this and that's all you're gonna do. But like, when you do that for so long, the pendulum is gonna swing the other way where you're like, I want something, and then you're gonna break out into like your Disney I want song, which if you do, that's totally cool, right? Because we grew up on Disney, so that'd be legit. But when you put too much stock in one thing, think about all the other things that you're taking out of categories that made you. And maybe those things that you're taking out are pieces that fit just fine where they were originally.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, so everything I think that discredits everything that you said, but that's kind of why I said like, that doesn't really apply to you. And I mean, not so much me either, where it's like, because I know we're really fine being our own people. Like, we're not really worried about like, oh, just because everybody else is, we feel like we're lesser than because we're not. But let me play devil's advocate a little bit here. Like, so not like so not like you said, Wukong is not really, something that's like high up on your thing of things to do. Like it rings out. You've heard of it. It may be something that you could get into if you do some investigating and find out what it's really about. But as of right now, like, you're straight and you really want to do your backlog. So that's another reason why you might like push it to the side. But if something like up in your wheelhouse is getting ready to come out, would you feel like, like just to be a part, not, well, maybe not just to be a part of the conversation, but other things like you don't want to get spoiled, or if people are talking about it like a lot, like I mean like stuff that's like popular, like it's gonna be really hard for you to like when GTA 6 comes out, it's gonna be hard for you to like dodge conversations on GTA 6 because I mean,
for
people
sure.
who don't play video, people who don't play video games are gonna be playing GTA 6. People who play video games are gonna be playing GTA. You're gonna see GTA 6 everywhere. So you know what I mean? Like, you trying to dodge the spoilers. Like, your backlog is not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff is already, it's either come out, it's old. People may not be talking about, so you don't really got to worry about that getting ruined for you. But do you feel like maybe it just might be better to just let me tackle this now because everybody's kind of
I mean,
thinking, I don't want to hit something, I don't want to catch a stray.
If that's how it works for some people, then go for it. For me personally, like if what's a good example? Like maybe like Spider-Man, right? Because like I know I'm going to get that game, right? What I like to do
Yeah.
is I stay off of just about anything. I'll still moderate like some socials because I gotta like promote whatever I'm about to work on, but
Mhm.
I'm not going through the reels. I'm not scrolling through any of that stuff, right? Because some people just drop it out there because it's not on them to be responsible in like what they post. It's
Oh,
on the
people
viewer.
people do it these days. People do it these days for the lows. Like you'll pop up
Yeah,
on a video that purposely says no spoilers, and if you go to the comments, somebody first comment there, yo, so and so dies in the end, just the LOL. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. There are
And it's
gonna
just
there are
like,
gonna be those type of
ah,
people, and once your eyes see it, you're like, I can't unsee it. But for me, it's like I can only control what I can moderate. So it's on myself to like engage with that stuff responsibly, type of thing. So for me, like when No Way Home was coming out, I told my little brother, I said, we're gonna go see this movie on this day. I got the tickets ready. I'm gonna do my regular shift at work, and then once we're off, we're off. We're gonna go see this movie. I was like, stay off of everything, cause it's gonna happen. Sure enough, them reels were out there, man. Like the second after, wasn't gonna risk it, right? Because the big scenes that they were gonna spoil, right? And
hmm
when I saw it in theaters for the first time, like it was like a UFC Joe Rogan moment, and I was like, man, that's a good feeling to have when you're not spoiled by something, because then your brain's either gonna try to figure out like, okay, well, how did we get here? And you trying to figure out how it got there might not be as exciting or as engaging as how the movie depicted it, type of thing.
yeah,
So for me,
yep.
I stay up on all that stuff. Now again, I'm eventually gonna get Grand Theft Auto 6 at some point, but there's something about the storytelling in Grand Theft Auto where it's like, if like a twist happens, it's like it's Grand Theft Auto, right? They're everyone's CD in the world of Grand Theft Auto, so it's not really a surprise in that regard. So I probably wouldn't put that on such a high priority or shoot it up to the line, but like I might buy it at some point. Definitely not like on the first day it comes out, because it's not like I'm gonna beat the game in one day. I have to play it at my
Well,
pace.
yeah.
I have to engage with it
Mhm.
on. I have to let it come to my level, not the other way around. Because once you feel like you're beholden to something, now you ain't got time to do anything, because you're putting everything that you want to do, can do, should do, have to do into something that might not be the best thing to do on your priority list. So, for anyone, I would say again, just play it at your own pace. Watch anything at your own pace. Engage with something at your own pace. There are going to be some things that like encourage you to like up the voltage just a little bit, like a drill sergeant, but um just it's you engaging with the thing. The thing would be useless if you weren't the one giving it meaning or purpose, type of thing.
True,
Yeah.
true. But I mean, yeah, like, yeah, there's that, and like dodging spoilers nowadays is dodging spoilers nowadays is really tough work. But dodging the spoilers, and even just the ability to like being able to take part in the conversation. Like for me, when I watched um when I watched The Wire, I think The Wire finished around 2000 and like 2006, 2007, 2008, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. It was like 2013, 14. So I mean, like by the time I had finished watching it, there was nobody really for me to like have conversations about with it until like obviously recently like the lockdown pandemic happened, and people started digging into things they never had the time for, or, things from before. They started rewatching stuff and stuff like that. So now there's an audience, a newer audience, or an audience, or people that came back to it that I can have conversations about with it. But when I first watched it, I'm like, yeah, I want to talk about it. Everybody's either like, oh man, yeah, I watched this so long ago. Like I don't remember. There's certain things that I don't remember, or I don't remember much, or yeah, that was a long time. Da da da.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like so like people when people was having conversations about this, or like Game of Thrones. Like people are watching Game of Thrones now because they had the other they had they got the new show out, House of Dragon or whatever.
Okay.
And like everybody was talking about Game of Thrones back when Game of Thrones first happened, or when it was happening, when it was going down, or whatever. And you had all these conversation pieces, YouTube videos, this, that, and whatever. So now if somebody new come along and they're like, oh yeah, this, that, and whatever. They're talking to people that don't remember or whatever. They're like, yeah. sure, yeah, that happened, da da da, da, but I don't remember it. Whereas the person who just seen it, they remember it because they just saw it. So it's like, you didn't really get to have as many conversations with as many people about it because you coming to the party late. And me,
Yeah,
I
and
usually
that will
always
happen
come to the parties
sometimes.
late.
But
Yeah,
that's okay though, because there are going to be people out there that, like, again, just really, like, you could tell them about it like 2 years after it's finished, and they'll be like, yeah, boom boom boom, referencing everything, talking about all these different points, these theories. Like, there are people out there, right? Now obviously it's more fun and engaging when they're in person, right? Because you can bounce off of that energy. But it's like, with the way the industry is right now, with trying to stream everything and putting it on the people to watch it on their own time, and while that can work for some things, for some shows, for some, shows that really just knock it out of the park, for me, I think when something is like really, really good, man, you got to keep that locked on a weekly release. Get people talking that entire week up to the next week for something coming out. Because if not, it's just, okay, next episode, next episode, next episode, next episode. Like, you're digesting it so much that, like, it's like you watch episode 1, which you'll staunchly remember, and then you'll remember episode 5, you'll remember episode 10, you'll remember episode 15, you'll remember the last 2 episodes, but you won't remember the ones kind of in between, right? The Simpsons, right? They're up to what, season 26, 27? Can you tell me what happened in the Simpsons of season 17, episode 5? It's so, like, just lost in the middle that, like, sometimes having it on a weekly release where everyone can be on the same page can be what makes or breaks something. And I don't know if Game of Thrones, because I never watched it, and I would be super late if I did, but I know there's people out there that are, like, very strong about it, but I think it's because of the last season or the last 2 seasons that you guys were talking about.
yeah,
Um,
the last few, yeah.
yeah, and that would be the sticking point as to why people remember it the way they do. But nah, man, sometimes it happens if you're late to the party, but you can still be your own person to make that party happen. It only takes one to scream in the room, and then it takes two to tango. For me personally, when I watch something that I really like, and I'm like, yo, obviously there's no one else to talk to about it because, like, it's already passed, it's already done. I try to see if I can watch it with my dad, because, like, if I can get my dad to like even smirk at something, because sometimes I think my dad is, like, low key a geek, but I don't know, he's just too, like, and if he is a
Too
geek,
cool,
then
too cool for school.
he's too cool for school. But it's like,
Yeah,
if I can get him to watch something, right, that I know he just might like it, if we can get him past the hook, right? He's having a good time, right? He liked Attack on Titan so much he was willing to watch it in sub and then again in dub. You know what I'm saying? He was a little rocky on Death Note, but after the first 3 episodes, all on board. So much so that he even watched that disgusting Netflix version one random day. And funny enough, I actually watched it too by accident with my girlfriend. We were talking about Sonic, of all things, the poor design one, and then we jumped onto the Lion King, the live action one, and then we started talking about Death Note, and then she was like, "Oh, Poppy, I think it's on Netflix. Let's watch it." And I'm like, "Huh? What, dude? Ella's black in that movie. Why?
who's black?
Elle.
He's black.
You know the dude in
Oh
Get
yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah,
the dude
yeah,
in
yeah,
Get
yeah,
Out,
yeah, 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 yeah,
the
yeah,
guy
yeah,
in
yeah. I
Get
know who you're
Out,
talking. Yep,
the
yep,
one
yep,
who
yep,
got
yep, yep, yep,
kidnapped,
yep.
is Elle. And you know what a slap
Yeah,
to the face it felt like? They had to give this dude candy to make him smart.
Lakeith Stanfield. Yeah, yeah.
He had to eat sweets to be smart, and then he had to go to sleep to, like, remember what he, like, learned in the time that his brain was, like, on some stimulus, like it's Limitless, starring Bradley Cooper. And I was like, what? So you have to eat sugar to get smart. You have to go to sleep to save your, like, game file. And then you just walk up on Elle and tell him, "I know you're Kira." Like, dude, on what proof? There was a scene where, like, Light's dad literally choked out Elle over the table, like, nose touching and everything. And I was like, wow, this guy is, like, really uncool. And that was the movie my dad watched.
Because in Netflix defense though, there's no defending them. They kind of try to take what the anime does and, like, make it, try to explain it or make it real or put their own little spin on it.
You
I've
know,
heard they gotten better
you know how
with
there
what
was
they did
only,
with, like,
12 rules in the Death Note?
uh
Guess how many there are in the Netflix adaptation?
24.
95.
Oh, there's 95 rules
Yeah,
and thing. Yeah,
yeah,
see, that's what I'm saying. They're trying
and
to do that. They're
and
trying to do their own
and he's
thing.
just jumping from page to page. I'm like, wow, what if like page 5, rule 69 just said like JK lol, rules 24 through 32 don't matter. Like, it's just, I don't know. Not the best adaptation. I think the only thing cool about that movie was William Dafoe voicing Ryuk, and him just being a complete menace. Even though they kind of botched that a little bit too, but it's only because I've seen something done better, and seeing like the creative liberties they took, I was just kind of like, wow, that is really interesting to see in live action. But I'm gonna go back over
Yeah,
here.
because but like that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine like if I had watched that, then it's like, all right. I mean, I could talk about it with you because you're the one who gave it to me. But it's like the conversation that I'd have now, or the amount of people that I could have a conversation with that about now, is obviously like much more limited than it was like if I was watching it when it came out or when it was at like peak popularity or something like that. It's kind of like trying to talk to somebody about like Dragon Ball Z these days.
Mm,
Like it's a nostalgic conversation. You know what I mean? Like we're remembering what we saw when we was kids, or what we saw when we last rewatched it, with our like adult eyes or whatever the case may be. But it's not like the conversations like we was having, like the debates that you have on the schoolyard with somebody when Goku first went Super Saiyan, or and like how I felt to see that when you was like a kid, or whatever. So I mean, same thing. Like I'm sure they had like when you get to the end of GTA 5 and you're trying to figure out what to do, or when you're running up to talk to somebody about oh, which did you pick in GTA 4? Did you pick to do the deal, or did you pick to do revenge? Oh, I picked to do the deal, thinking that everything was gonna be all sweet, and then whatever happened to Roman. You're like, yeah, man, dog, I had to da da da. Like the conversation then, when like it first happened, or when somebody first did that, like if you had did that like maybe a year or two, or like GTA 4 came out in what? Oh, eight, oh
2007,
seven.
2008.
Man, that's like almost 20 years ago now. So, the feeling of what you picked back then is obviously going to be, different to, when somebody bringing that up to you, like, yeah, man, I picked it. Yo, I just finished this for the first time. Yo, how did you feel? You got to think all the way back almost like, 17, 16 years ago, like to what you picked.
Yeah, but the
And it's like,
conversation can still be had, and it doesn't take away from the feelings that you both had in those particular moments. Like when I eventually play Red Dead, right? It might hit me differently, but I can still have a conversation with you about it. But obviously, we are way across the field when it comes to like you played it the minute it came out, right? I'm
yeah, when it
playing
came
it
out.
years after it came out. Same thing with Batman. I started with the first one, kind of stopped playing it because that detective mode, man, is just way too bright for my eyes sometimes. But when I eventually beat it, I can have a conversation about it, but it will be inherently different from how it hit you. You'll
Yeah,
still bring up your
yeah.
points and your
When,
feelings and stuff like that. You'll have what you have to say about the Riddler. You'll have what you have to say about the Joker and stuff like that. But it's like once you're already past the fact that like, okay, we can't talk about the same, quote unquote, the same way because we played them at different times. Okay, well, what's the next best thing we can do? Talk about what we liked about it. Yeah, girl, and then you guys just go for it. So, it's like, for me, it's like the spoiler analogy. Once it gets spoiled, it's like, okay, how do we get here, kind of thing. Like, let your brain pivot and then figure out what is salvageable and then work from there.
true, but I mean, like you said, it's a bit different because I mean, okay, all right, I won't touch the red. So I'll let you know, Red. Excuse me, Red Dead 2.
He's dying. Get him
Red
water.
Dead 2. Nah, Red Dead 2's little twist did get spoiled for me by accident. I think I was looking at something else, and then stupidly I had scrolled down to the comments, and I seen a few, and I thought I was safe, and I stumbled upon one that, ruined part of the ending for me. And then also in Jedi Fallen Order, right? You beat Fallen Order before, right?
The first one, yes.
That's the one I gave you. Yeah, okay. So when Darth Vader pops up, right?
Hmm.
Somebody had somebody said it somewhere and I seen it. It was like, yeah, when Darth Vader pops up, and I was like, and I like got away, and then like I tried to do that thing with my brain where it's like, no, I didn't see it, or like forget I saw it or
You try to
whatever. But
try
it's like,
and
nah.
affect your own brain.
Yeah. I tried, but it's like it's in there. So you already know what you know, and it's like, all right, so he's gonna be there at the end. So like when he shows up, like don't get me wrong, like it's cool, and like I can even watch it on YouTube right now and like watch a streamer's reaction or whatever, and still get a little bit of goosebumps or whatever.
Hmm.
But I just can't help but feel like, damn, how much cooler would this have felt if I didn't know he was coming? And then, all of a sudden the chick is there scared, and then you hear Darth Vader start breathing. Like, how much cooler would it have felt if, I didn't know that was coming and it just happened? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but
and
unfortunately, it
I look
happened
at it with regret. It's just like,
because you engaged
man.
it in a way where it was like you were putting the horse before the carriage, or however that saying goes. I forget it. But again,
For the part.
it was your it was your responsibility to not go looking for that stuff because you knew you were going to be engaging with that particular game yourself at some point. I don't think I had it spoiled for me. I don't think I did because when it showed up, I was just kind of like, oh, oh snap, like it's him, you know? And this is coming from someone who knows nothing about Star Wars outside of just like, space opera, the Anakin dude, and I don't like sand, right? So
All right.
like again, if I got spoiled for it, it probably would have hit me differently. But again, the fact that I didn't see it because I knew I was going to get this game at some point, I just was like, all right, not look for it. And obviously, there's things you can do right on whatever platform you're at. You can like block terms and things like that, and just stay off the grid for those types of videos from the people that you follow that will talk about those type of things. So it just never gets to you until you're ready to open the doors back up and let it come to you.
Yeah, but I mean, it takes a lot of like gymnastics for you to get, because I mean I didn't really go looking, like it's not like I looked at like a walkthrough of the game, because I'm not gonna I was like, I knew I had it already,
Hmm.
so.
But did you
But I
finish
think
it?
like I not at that time, but I think like, because if I'm going through, so every day when I get to work, right, I
Hmm.
pull up YouTube and I'm looking at, all right, what videos am I gonna try to watch throughout this shift? Information about this, information about that. Am I gonna research this? Am I gonna research that? Do I want to look at a thing about this? So as I'm scrolling through like my home screen, if you these days the way the algorithm or whatever goes, if you click on like one video, like say somebody did like a spoiler free review, or somebody did like a whatever, or somebody did like a little clip of them playing like the first level or whatever, you click
Hmm.
on that one video, then you refresh the YouTube homepage,
Hmm.
and you get like 20 videos of the same topic, and like sometimes they show you the end, sometimes they show you this, somebody's doing a video of that, somebody's
Hmm.
doing a video of this conversation, whatever. So if you click on one, you end up going to the comments. The comments is like a link, it's
Don't
like a
go to the
minefield.
comments.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, everybody who goes to YouTube 9 times
No.
out of 10 is like I think
But
people are there more for the comments than they are
yes,
for the videos.
people are there for the Razzie
You know
Awards,
what I mean?
absolutely. But you, as the engager, right? You can't. It's tempting, but you can't. Why? Why do you care about what they say? Why do you care about what they think? You already got the game.
Because it's comedy or
Listen,
whatever.
listen. It's comedy,
You
but the
know what I
joke is you're
mean?
gonna get it spoiled for you. And I know this is gonna sound tough or crazy to say, but it's like, yo, maybe you could take this time to not be on YouTube, right? You could take that time to put it towards something else, to get something else ready for the pipeline. Back to that backlog conversation. When I was getting God of War, when I was getting Spider-Man, when I was getting Horizon, I was like, okay, the out of these three games, the most one that's going to be spoiled is God of War and Spider-Man, right? I didn't really have to worry about Horizon too much, right? And because it's already so lore heavy, it's like good luck trying to piece that together by just walking into it, right? So I didn't have to worry about Horizon. But for God of War and Spider-Man, dude, I was off of everything. When I have my YouTube open, I know where my watch later is, and I click it and I stay right there. When I'm done with it, X out of the page. Don't go back to the home menu. Don't go into no comment section. You know better. You're someone that is also disciplined, and you walk to the beat of your own drum. Why do you care about the Razzie Awards at the bottom half?
Oh, I
Crazy.
don't, but I mean, sometimes when I'm looking at the like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I just want to see what like what is the general? I don't know, because I'm a bit of a troll too. But
Listen,
I'm like, what
if you
is the
want the
general?
general gist,
Yeah, what is the
you can go to
consensus?
Reddit. right? They seem to be pretty savvy about that type of like, hey, here's how we're feeling, and
They
then
are
here's
pretty
how
good
we're
with it. Yeah.
really feeling, kind of thing. So do it that way. But you know that if you go on YouTube, with the way these algorithms are constantly changing every day, based off of your previous search history that's already stamped in your secondary tab, they're going to push that to you. Because again, as far as the company's concerned, they don't know if you're trying to get spoiled for it or not. They're just saying, hey, we think you might like this, but it's on your responsibility to be like, push the plate away and say, I don't want that right now. I'll come to it later. And then you stay with what you know that you're not going to get spoiled on. So again, you come home, you turn your console on, you know you're not going to get spoiled in, Jedi Survivor, because you're playing it right now. Whatever happens, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be raw, it's going to be you. But if you go online, the virtual back door, nah, man, that's a dangerous game you playing.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I've gotten much better at dodging them. Like, I can't remember what I didn't run into any spoilers for Spider-Man 2. I didn't run into any spoilers for like, Deadpool and Wolverine. I didn't run into any spoilers for like any recent like movies or games or whatever. Like it's been a while since I've got like that. But back in the day and stuff like that. And people who haven't, because I mean, I think that once you get something spoiled for you a couple times by
Mm-hmm.
accident, if you don't mind, then it's whatever. But something like you want to get to, and then somebody spoils it for you. Like once you went through that, you already know. Like, all right, I gotta avoid the comments like the plague, and I gotta like, I'm not even gonna click on a video of any of this because I know as soon as I hit one, that's why I can tell you. Like you click one, you refresh the page, now you got 20 recommended videos of the same. Like I already know to skip all of that because I've went through it unfortunately. But for somebody who doesn't, what I mean, and they're like, yeah, I got this and that to get to, but because this is new and like everybody's gonna think it, it's like, all right, I got a homeboy that I go like we do the superhero movies and whatever, and he's like, yeah, let's try not to go like too late. Like if we can't go opening weekend, let's try not to go too late if it's gonna be too hot because people are gonna start talking and then everywhere you gotta avoid the
Oh,
discourse like
absolutely,
crazy
absolutely, and that's
and
and
just
that's the way
talk that
things
thing.
spread now, right? The information spreads super fast nowadays. Where back then it was just kind of like, for Deadpool and Wolverine, press 5. For movie times, press 1. Like
Yeah,
that's how archaic it was back then. And the way the information got out there, they went through specific channels and specific funnels. But now with everything, with everyone having a phone, with everyone having some type of account, with everyone having these edits in mind and stuff like that, when something hot comes out or is anticipated to be hot, just have that in the back of your mind and be like, okay, here's what I should look out for. Here's what I shouldn't engage with as much. But you should be telling yourself, okay, I gotta start making plans to like go see this thing or go do this thing. When Deadpool and Wolverine came out, I think I didn't go the first weekend. I didn't go the second weekend. I think I went like maybe the last week of August. But I was like, if I don't see it now, whatever happens, happens. I think after a month,
hmm
okay, sure. Because again, if we're taking the 24-hour analogy and the 8 hours is for sleeping, multiply that by the whole month. You can make time for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay?
yeah,
And if you can't,
hmm
figure out what is taking up all your time and then figure out how you can work around that from the front and the back half. And then commit to it.
right.
I'm telling you guys, this stuff can be done. I know it's daunting. I know it's disheartening. I know it's scary, but like, it's all management. You put all the pieces out and you go, yeah, we'll do this first, and then this will be the last thing we do. Like, make an itinerary for yourself, and then see how well you'll move through that throughout the day.
Yeah, well, you got to give up one thing for another or whatever, and I guess you just come to find out like there's a saying of like with
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 great power
with
comes
trying
great
to find out.
responsibility.
Yeah,
Oh.
they did that's a saying too, but
Wait, what's the other
but
one from Madam Web? When you accept the responsibility, your power becomes greater.
I don't know, they fluffed it up. They fluffed it up, but they messed that one up. But no, there's people who say like you tell when somebody's like interested in you or likes you and they make time for you. The things that you find important or the people that you find are important, you're gonna make time for. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So if doing that thing is really that important to you, if getting that thing checked off your to do list is that important to you, like you're gonna make time for it. Like you make time to go to the gym because maintaining your health is important to you. You make time for your girlfriend because she's important to you, or whatever things like that. So some or someone is important to you, you're gonna make time for it. So yeah, you gotta if you gotta move things around, shuffle things around. whatever the case may be, then you're gonna make that happen. But yeah, no. As far as backlogs go, I mean, I think they're a good thing. You know, I think that ours has gotten kind of like out of control.
No, listen,
Since
dude, my
last.
my backlog is fine. I literally have a whole Excel sheet about games I've completed and games I'm
Yeah,
gonna
see,
play.
that's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I mean? Like,
That's out of control, in my opinion. Not in a bad way, but I'm
mhm.
saying, like, you know what I mean. Like, if we got lists, like, I'm sure I could probably fill like 2 or 3 notebook pages of stuff that I want to
Mhm.
get done, in just like one category alone.
Well, I mean, if you only have
Um,
like 2 or 3 games to work on, right, and that's your entire collection, is it really a backlog?
Not really.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I guess it
it's
could be,
only,
but not. You know what
yeah,
I
it's
mean?
only
Not
when you
not
have
really.
like 50 plus games and you have like your core four that you play, for that week. But it's like, okay, there's other games that I want to explore and invest in. And again, in my case, trophy hunting or whatever, that it's like, okay, let me write this out. But in this case, let me type this out so I know what to refer to when I come back to it. And I'm still holding on to my backlog list with my rope. But the further back it goes, it's either you loosen your grip or you tighten it and you pull it closer towards you. And when people are figuring out what they're going to do and what they're going to make a priority, that grip is either going to get stronger or you're just going to loosen it up and let it go. And you'll be like, I'll get to it whenever, right? That's life. That's good, man.
Ah, yeah. So in fairness and thing in conversation, um, what are you working on in your backlog now for 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 the listeners?
Well, I finished my laundry. Very important. Gotta smell clean, be fresh to death and all that. I have a few things that I want to take care of with the car that I bought. So I wrote everything down. Funny enough, I actually lost my front license plate. Well, not my red letter license plate that sits on the front. I keep that one in the trunk. But my
The Naruto one?
no, I haven't even put that one in my car yet because I'm still cosmetically going through it. But I have a Cadillac license plate frame and the Cadillac
Hmm.
plate itself. And I had them on the front. And as I was leaving work yesterday, I heard a jingle and a jangle, and it fell off while I was driving home. So I wrote that in my list of things that I need to take care of. And then the minute I got home, I was like, you know what? Why put it off? Just do it now. I evaluated, what do I have to spend this week? Any big purchases coming up? Any big bills? No, rent's already taken care of. Yep, cool. All right, go for it. Sometimes it's that quick of a rapid fire decision, but sometimes when you're preparing for something, you give it its just due. So for me, it was like, oh, I lost these 2 things that go on the front of my car. I can take care of that right now. I wrote it down just in case. And then once I wrote it down, I kept a note of when it's supposed to arrive, when I purchased it, and now I wait, kind of thing. As far as games go, Persona, Forspoken, Final Fantasy, but that ebbs and flows between stream and personal time. But
You
as of right
finished
now,
Jurassic Park, right?
I did not finish Jurassic Park actually. The Lego one?
Hmm.
No, I haven't. And I had to play that one in my own time as well. That one slipped through the cracks as well. But I was playing it on stream for a bit, and I might bring it back to stream, but there's no rules that say I can't play it in my own time with that game specifically. I was doing Jurassic World, and then I realized that like 5 of the trophies are like, yeah, play this on the hardest difficulty and all of its RNG. And I was like, with everything that I have going on right now, I don't want to have to come home for 5 hours and play guessy guessy goo, right? So maybe I'll save it for like the winter time, or maybe when I get my vacation because I got 10 days off coming up. Thank the Lord somehow. But out of those 10 days, 8 of them have to go to my missus. So you know what I mean? It's like you gotta make it work. You gotta make it work. I low key bought the Steam Deck so I could have a second screen when I'm in the bed when she's chilling with me, but I'm not at, how they are when you're at a distance and they're like, well, I want to be close. And it's like, yes, I understand.
Hmm.
But I just want you to understand that it's going to cost me $315. But I will do it for you because I love you and I want to make this work. You know what I'm saying? Type of stuff.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's like, if you want to make it work, you got to move those pieces around and weigh all of your options. Don't list off 2 or 3 examples and be like this, that, and the third. Give us concrete things that you want to do and get done, and then commit to it. And sometimes when you write like on a chalkboard one and then the title and then you bullet point it, sometimes you have to bullet point a lot of mini tasks to get to the main one. It's
Hmm.
just like video gaming if we're going to bring it back to that. And that's why Money and I love gaming so much, just because like it doesn't beat it over your head, but it teaches you organizational skills in ways that are fun and engaging. And if you take things like that from the game and you healthily, if that's even a word, apply it to real life, it can really work wonders. For me, bought cars with no problem, can fix stuff with no problem, trying to buy a house now. It's like all that came from the things that I've learned and the passions that I've opened myself up to with this particular hobby, right? And whatever your guys' hobby is, it can maybe manifest in your life too in some fun and unique way. But you got to move things around to see if that's possible. And you can't do that if all you're doing is waking up, going to work, eating P.F. Chang's, farting, and then going to sleep. You got to experiment. All right? Time. Someone's gonna be like, "Well, what if I'm?" It'll list like the most craziest thing.
What if they had a list like what?
No, I'm just saying like someone just be like, "I have the most like obtuse example," and then it's gonna be like a long paragraph of like, "Well, I was born an orphan and I was born with glass bone and paper skin. Every morning I break my arms."
Obviously, then we can't account for that. But I mean,
I'm just gonna heart the comment.
Yeah, like generally, some of the advice applies. You just gotta, you just gotta change some of it to adjust your life. You know what I mean?
And again, not everything, guys. Like if you have like those main things that like you won't budge on, then work around those things. Like again, I can change my shift schedule from a 7 to 3 and 11 to 7, but right now the 3 to 11 works. So I work everything else around that. And if that 3 to 11 is starting to become a problem, then I will have to start, okay, now we gotta think even more critically about how we're gonna move this very big, heavy piece, right? Because it's through that thing that you did everything else around. So just keep that in mind. We're not telling you to like, uproot everything in your life and pull the carrot sticks out of the ground, but there is a way to get everything done. What's that saying? All roads lead to Rome? Unless there's a dead end street, then
we could give you like general advice or encouragement, but we can't give you like step for step because we're not living your lives.
Yeah, so we're not your financial advisors. We're not your life advisors.
We're not gonna exactly know how to think it, but I mean, just generally.
Yeah,
general encouragement.
Yeah, but we've all lived through lives, right? We know what it's like to be on this earth. We know what it's like to go to work. We know what it's like to hustle and work hard, right? So we want to extend that to other people who might not be at that level yet, but want to be, but they aren't sure how to start, kind of thing. And if you buy our book today for just $9.99, that's $999, by the way, you too can be successful. But guys, you got this. You got this, guys.
Yeah, we all trying to make it. Look out for your people. But that's all we trying to do. Look out for ourselves. Look out for our people, and hopefully we all get to the end together.
Yeah,
something like that.
A rising tide floats all boats.
Yeah,
unless you're on the Titanic.
All right, you can take us home.
Great. With that being said, the Bible said it was early in the afternoon. Money Green, anything else you'd like to add?
Nah, man, that's it.
All right. Anything you want to say about
I didn't prepare my philosophical quotes or nothing like that for today.
Okay, that's fine. Anything you want to say about the Joker, backlog wise?
The Joker 2 is coming out soon.
You trying to go see it with me?
I'm glad that is not my problem this time around.
Bro, you saw Barbie with me. Come on.
Are you paying?
Yeah, dude. If I give the idea, it's on me.
Yo, bro. All right, we'll go. Really, it's just whatchamacallit. It's just up to you because I'm just gonna be. Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a musical.
There's nothing wrong with musicals.
It's a musical.
There's nothing wrong with musicals.
I was gonna say all Greens hate musical, but I know me and my dad hate musicals. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And your mom wouldn't be a Green. Yeah.
Yeah, I told my mother. Well, she is by marriage, but I told my mother that, and then she's like, "Your father's exactly the same." Can I? I was like, "Well, see, there you go." I was like,
"But y'all go to church and listen to musicals? Like, make it make sense."
Yeah, because church is music. You know what I mean?
You just said the same thing, but you took out the A and the L.
not. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Not you want to tell part of the story through like
The preacher literally
whatever, and then you
sings
want
when
to tell
he
the
does his
you
sermon.
want to you want to you want to tell the other nah, because that's what I'm
The
saying. You know
things
what's
I
funny?
used to do,
You
I
know you know
don't
you know
do
you know
no
what's
more.
funny? Yeah, but he don't be singing.
Yeah, he
He be straight
does.
preaching.
Nah.
I used to whatchamacallit, when I was able to when I was able to go to church on my own, like, without having to go with them, I used to just come just for when he was preaching. Like I would show up at that time. And then,
Wow.
when he was done preaching, I was out. Because that was all I was there for was the word. So everything before, welcome and announcements, and the praise and worship team, and the choir, and offering, and this and that, and whatever. I wasn't there for that. I just come when pastor's about to step up there, preach the word. I listen to the word, take that knowledge, and then be gone. Or I say what's up to everybody I had to say what's up to, and then I'd be gone. When
You
I can
know,
start going on my own.
video games are technically musicals if you listen to them in order.
Yo,
I
take
know
us
you listen
home,
to that
bro.
Persona
Take
sidetrack,
take 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 us. Yeah, because Persona's soundtrack is dope.
but it's a
But
musical.
yeah, but it's not telling me. It's not telling me the story.
Yeah, it is. You just
No,
have
it's
to
not.
open
The
your mind
cutscene,
to it.
the cutscenes is telling me the story. The
No,
dialogue is
the
telling me the story.
music is supplementing it when you're listening to it in your own time.
Yeah, the music just fits what's going on and whatever. But you don't have to listen to the music to get the story. I'm getting the story from Joker. No pun intended. I'm getting the story from whoever the villain we fighting is, and the rest of the Phantom Thieves. Not the lady who's singing in the background.
Wow. You should do a Persona 3 in real
I mean,
life.
the lady singing in the background is dope, but she's not giving me the story. So I can rock with that. When Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix are singing the story, I might be grumbling
Bro,
a little bit, but
forget the names. Forget the names, all right? Just look at them as
or
actor
I'm
and
just saying.
actresses.
All
And
right,
just
so
see
all
and
right, so
let's just see what the story has to offer. Let's just start there.
I'll scrub it. When Joker and Harley Quinn are are telling me the story by singing and thing. No, we're gonna go. We're good.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It's gonna be a whole. We gotta make sure for next month. 'Cause I think come on next month. We
Okay.
gotta make sure for next month we record after we see that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you want, we'll do like a Blair Witch budget recording off my phone in the car as we drive you home. What'd you think? Honest impressions. Man, I can't believe you don't like musicals. We're black people, man. We are all about the spirituals, man.
Yeah, I'm with spirituals. As long as I just like my movies to be movies and my music to be music.
That's crazy. You said you want them all to be in one category. Segregation to the max. That hurt, man. That hurt. How dare you? I thought you were my best friend.
I'm just gonna be the villain here. So whatever you got to say, it is what it is.
Listen,
What it
when I
is.
pay for that ticket and them credits roll and you give me that look, I'll be like, don't say nothing. I paid your way to get here. I'm the boss that paid the
I
cost.
ain't.
Now, like this Joker movie. It might be good. I don't think the trailers are doing it justice because the trailers like to spoil everything and make everything as operatic as
You know what?
possible.
You know what's gonna be cool?
What?
It's gonna be a completely blind watch for me. I have not seen a single trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I've seen is the theatrical poster in downtown Crossing when I was just at the movies there Friday.
Okay. Oh, what'd you see?
But other than what we see on for? We seen 1992
Oh, the musical?
with Tyre. Nah,
Okay,
that
I
ain't a
see you.
musical, bro.
I see you.
That ain't no musical, bro. It's by a dude. It's by a dude who does music. Tyrese is in it, but nah, it ain't no musical.
Wow, dude, you're like, no musicals. Wow,
I don't
man.
rock the musicals.
What was the
I'm
first?
still
What
mad.
was the first
I'm
musical you
yo.
saw that made you go, this isn't for me?
I don't even remember. But you know what's funny?
Wow, you're a sleeper agent.
Whenever you get the chance, ask my mother about Frozen.
The Disney movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask her about Frozen.
Does she like it?
Yeah, she loves that movie.
Wait,
She loves it. She loves it because she tortured me with it.
wow, that's a
So
Geneva
so I'll tell
Convention right there.
I'll tell you real quick, but it's funny it coming from her. So you know how like you know how I told you like if you wanted the movie to go take your niece or whatever to like go see Elemental
Hmm.
or whatever. So like me and my mother, we go watch like the animation joints, cause it's like it's kind of like a whole. Some people be like, oh, you know, why you watch those things if you don't have no kids? Like, aren't you too old for that? Da 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 da. And it's like me and my mother, like, you know, we chill out a lot. Like, you know, I don't want to be the person that's like too old to hang out with their parent or whatever. And it
Right.
just kept going on and on from there. So we go watch the animations, and so when we seen Frozen was coming out the trailer or whatever, I was like, oh, it kind of looks like interesting or whatever. They're singing, but I'm
Hmm.
thinking like they're just singing for the trailer and the promotional thing, but it's gonna be like a legit
Wow,
movie.
that was very misleading, and that's not how that works. Like,
and so and so I was like, all right, mom, we gotta go see Frozen. And then my mother's like, you know how my mother is. Everything is like, all right, fine, whatever. Like she don't want to do
she's
nothing,
too
and
cool to
it's
hang
like
out with
it's
her
always
son.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like she always make it like I'm twisting her arm or whatever, and it's like, man. But anyway, so I was like, all right, mom, we're gonna go see Frozen. She's like, yeah, okay, all right, fine. And then we go see Frozen, and then we're watching it, and then in like the first few minutes, they break out into song.
Our mental
Now
synchronization
I'm
can't
kind of
help
like
but one
I'm kind
explanation.
of like apprehensive. I'm apprehensive at this point.
You're looking at like
Like
all four exits.
like I hope this ain't gonna be the whole thing. And so probably in like the first like 15, 20, 25 minutes, they probably like they break into like their third song. I'm like, this is a musical.
Wait, wait,
And
wait,
she's
wait,
over there.
wait. Wait a minute. So
What's
you
up?
don't so you don't you don't watch Disney movies?
No, I do. That's what I'm saying.
So
But
you knew what you was getting.
nah, I didn't know. I
Yeah.
did. This was
It,
back.
li-
This
it,
was back.
it
Hold on. This was before like I. This was before like I became smart. This is when I was still a dumb punk or a dumb punk or whatever, and I was not like into like behind the scenes of movies. I wasn't writing.
it's right
I
above
wasn't
their
really.
logo. Disney's
I was.
Frozen.
I yeah, but I didn't know that because Disney makes movies, but they don't always sing in all of the movies.
Yes, they
Like look
do.
at
Okay, name me one.
huh?
Name me one.
Soul.
No,
Soul.
no. Soul is Pixar.
See? Well, there you go.
They're
I don't
they're a
really know.
subsidiary of
I don't.
Disney. Pixar
But that's
doesn't
what I'm
really go
saying.
into musicals. If anything, they'll have songs that play like in the background as like diegetic noise, like Cars, right? It had songs in it, but it wasn't being sung by the characters. Disney, Frozen, Frozen's not Pixar. It looks like it's Pixar, but that's because they jumped it with the Tangled animation after Princess and the Frog. But Tangled and Frozen are Disney. So you're getting the I Want songs, you're getting the There Has to Be More. It's it's there, guys. I promise we're black, but it's like you knew what you was getting when you walked into that theater.
Nah, I didn't know what I was getting. So that's why I was getting ready to say. By the time they had broken into like their third or fourth song, and I said out loud, I'm like, oh, this is a musical. She's over there now. She's greatly enjoying herself because she realized that I don't like musicals, but I'm the one that walked us into this crap. So
Wow.
this, so so this is all me, and she's loving it. She's loving every minute of it. And when they put out the thing on TV, she wanted to watch it and is walking around singing it because, you know, it's the one that I walked us into. And when they put out the sing along, she watched it because she knows it's the one. So I'm forever being tortured by Frozen and Frozen 2 because I walked this into the first movie and didn't know that it was gonna be a musical.
But that's so
The only
crazy. You
music,
don't like
the
musicals, but you
only
listen to music.
the only musical I like is High School Musical 2.
Okay. High School Musical 2 is legit.
High School Musical 2, and there's another one that I like,
Okay,
but I can't think of it
but
right
why
now.
but why did you like it?
High School Musical 2.
Mm-hmm. Why two
Um,
specifically?
I don't because I never. That was the first one I watched.
So what was the
I
one
didn't
that you
watch the
watched where
first
you
one.
were like, this not nice?
Uh, like almost every other
Show me on the Anakin
You know
doll
what's funny?
where this musical hurt you.
Do you remember when you remember when Madea first got popular?
Medea?
Tyler Perry?
Uh,
Yeah.
Honestly, no. I've always stayed off of them things.
Oh, lucky you. But when Medea first got popular, my family was big into it. Like they used to get the plays,
Hmm.
and then when Tyler Perry did the movies, they went and got the movies, and they would watch them because it's tied into like Christianity, like whatever. So I remember my nana would watch it, my mom's, my aunts. Um, Sometimes if they watched at like a cookout or a function or whatever, like my uncles would be there and whatever. And Tyler Perry stuff is like Tyler Perry stuff, and I would like be in the area. And like I'm watching them do the talking, I'm watching them do the acting and whatever, and I'm like, all right, I'm kind of getting into it. And then somebody would just like break out into a song, and then they would go back to talking and acting, and then they would break out into a song. And then Medea would hop on there acting like a fool and this and that, she's comedy and whatever, and then talking and drama and this and that, and then they would break out into a song. And I'm just like, damn, can they stop breaking out into the songs? Like, I just want to see the story play out straight instead of like
But that
stopping
that
to hear them
is
sing
the
about what's
story.
going on and then go back to like what's happening into like like it just frustrates me. So it's
But
like
but
it's
that's
kind of like
the but that's the lyrical genius of it.
yeah, but I don't like that. It's kind of like when you watch a story or show or a movie where they like they're in this part of the timeline and they're going straight and then they flash back and then they jump forward and then they come back to the current story and then they jump forward again and then they jump like, dog, just give it to me straight. Stop all this jumping around. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do all this jumping around. I like my feet on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I don't like
But
jumping all over the
but
place.
you like the Trunks timeline story thingy in Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z.
because when they're telling that story, they stay in that timeline, and then he comes in the show to Goku, like the main timeline or whatever,
So he
and then
jumped
he
his
goes back to
lane.
his timeline. Yeah, but that's one point. That's one jump. Like one jump is okay. A jump shot.
One jump is okay.
Yeah, one jump is okay.
Okay.
Jumping around multiple times and this and that and whatever. Like that's why I haven't watched Loki and all that other stuff because they're just moving around too much. Stop moving so much. Slow down. I'm old.
Sit still so I can shoot you. Dang it. I can't get a shot. Wow, my best friend doesn't like musical guys.
No, I don't like. No, I don't like. I
I'll
don't like
never
it.
be
Me
able
and
to
my
financially
pops.
recover from this. Wow.
Me and my pops.
Have you
Me and
finished
my
the
pops
Have you
don't
finished the
like.
boys yet?
So see, I stopped watching The Boys to go and watch Snowfall, and I just finished Snowfall, and Snowfall is like I gotta finish digesting that before I get back to The Boys.
You should digest that while you're
But I'm
watching the
gonna.
boys. Okay, wait. Where did you
I've
leave
got.
off in the boys?
I started over again. Remember? So I'm in season one. I'm in
Oh, so
season
you
one.
you didn't even watch season 4?
Nah, I'm doing a rewatch.
Oh man, never mind. I was gonna ask you a musical
Yeah,
question.
I'm doing a rewatch.
Well, season 4 is all of a musical, so good luck.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm about to then say less. I'm not about.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm not about to watch it no more.
Wow.
Thank you for the heads up.
You're welcome. My daily service announcement to people out there. Man. Well, guys, if
Yeah,
you like
back in high school.
musicals,
Back in high school, I had a homie. He's like, "Yeah, you watch Glee?" I was like, "Absolutely not. Nah,
yeah,
I
no,
already
like
know what that's
I don't know, like when it gets to something like when it's raw theater, okay, I'll pick and choose what works best for me, right? I don't know nothing about Glee. I don't know nothing about no Gossip Girl, right? I don't think they're related, but they sound like they belong in the same bin. But yeah, there are certain screenplays and billings that I'm just kind of like, all right, not interested in. You know, I'm not interested in the Queen of Versailles, but I'm interested in like Spider-Man in concert. You know, that's gonna be a musical, man.
That could be cool. That could be cool.
Oh, so it's okay when it's Spider-Man, but not when it's yo,
Yo, hold on, bro.
yo, yo,
Why you so
man.
worked up? Hold on, wait. Time out. Time out.
Because
Time out.
I've had the pain and agony of giving birth and telling people that musical's legit. Listen, we had the stick and we had The Rock,
I
and then
never said musicals
Civilization
ain't
grew.
legit. I just said I don't like them. I
You should
never
like
said
them.
anything. I
I'm going to
never
I'm going
said
to take
anything
over your
crucified.
personality, and you're going to like musicals. I'm going to find where you live, and I'm going to put you in front of the
You know
TV.
where I live.
Yes, I
You
do,
live like
and I
you
am
live like
closing
one
in
block
on your
over.
I'm closing in on your location rapidly, and I'm going to put you in front of that chair, Clockwork Orange style, and you're going to watch a musical.
I've watched musicals. I've watched a bunch of musicals.
So you got to
The
the end.
last one I the last one I watched I think was Encanto. Yeah. My mother tricked me into that. I put it on just for her to watch. She's like, "You're not gonna watch it with me?" All
But
right,
it
fine,
still had a
whatever. I'll
story.
watch. It did have a story. I was kind of disappointed with it, but that's a story for another time. But yeah, no,
Well,
it was good. It
I
had a
haven't seen
story.
Encanto, so I wait. Is that the one with? Oh no, that's Coco. I'm thinking about. Yeah, I didn't see either or. Um, okay, so the newer Disney movies just aren't it for you. All right, cool. What about? I mean, older Disney
Oh, you know,
movies.
oh, you
Oh,
said there was another one. Yo, you know another one I like? I like the live action Jungle Book. I rock with that one.
okay.
I rock with that one. I
I
enjoyed
didn't see
watching that
that
one.
one, but the Jungle Book was, from how I remember it, in Disney's kind of lull period. The animation style was a bit cheaper, and a lot of people
Well,
ended up walking out.
I think Jungle Book was one of the first ones they did. That was when they first started making all of their animations live action. Not first, because I mean they
You
did
talking
they
about
did like
the live action one?
yeah they did Beauty and the Beast
Well,
and
I
all of
low key
that.
think
Like
their live action stuff started with either Enchanted or the Maleficent one. I think Enchanted came
yeah,
first.
that's what I'm saying. I know they did other ones first, but like from the legitimate like they did Lion King. They're doing another one now,
That no one asked for.
Mufasa or whatever. Um,
Spoiler alert: he
they
died.
did they did a few of the other ones, but Jungle Book was like I think one of the ones that then they did a couple of Tarzans, like they did one Tarzan and then they did like a
Oh yeah.
mature
Well,
Tarzan.
I think that was owned by a different company at the time, but Disney had a stake in it,
Yeah.
so they could publish the movie under their name. I know which one you're talking about, but yeah, I don't think that one was as closely tied to Disney's hip as we were led to believe. But I do remember watching that Tarzan one. It was okay. You know, I liked the animated Tarzan one. I don't like Phil Collins, but I liked the animated Tarzan one.
Yeah, like the real one. Yeah, nah. So the Jungle Book that I watched live action had Christopher Walken in it, and it had some other people in it. But
Did they sing?
Christopher Walken played the giant orangutan or monkey or whatever it was. But yeah, no,
Okay.
they were singing, and I like that one. I like that one, and I like High School Musical too. Them two, I rock with those.
He
But
went from live action
other
animals to live action people.
because those
That's
are the only two
crazy, dude.
musicals. Those are the two musicals I like. But I mean, other than that, nah, man, I'm straight.
Wow. You are a certified hood classic. I have nothing else to say. An hour and 29 minutes and 45 seconds.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not
That's
bad.
great. See,
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. The only thing that's bad is that you don't watch musicals. How dare you?
I'm about to watch the Joker too. So give
Oh
me a
yeah,
little bit of grace. All right.
you gonna watch this Joker movie. Someone gonna eat this rice. You gonna watch this
Give
Joker
me,
movie with me. Was Barbie a
give me
musical?
some grace. Huh?
Was Barbie a musical, or did Barbie just have like random songs that I don't remember?
Yeah, I wouldn't count it as a musical. But
Wait,
you
you
know
said
how I feel about
you
that movie.
wouldn't count it as a musical?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. Yeah, they had songs in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
some movies can have singing or songs in it, but
Mhm.
if it's way of telling the story or moving the story, like I feel like musicals use song to progress the story and like tell part of the story or
Mhm.
tell like how a character is feeling about what's going on in the story.
Mhm.
Um, Barbie just had like songs in it and whatever. It wasn't really using the songs to move the story along or characters
Yeah, it
along.
was. Ken had a whole album. And then they had the
everything, every movie has albums or soundtracks from
no, but I mean
the
like
movie.
he had a song that like motivated him into being what he was. You know what I'm saying? They had the whole opening skit with the Hi Barbie song. I forgot how it goes, but you know which one.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but that's what I'm saying.
And these songs
I don't.
play into the
Hold on, let me see.
overall oomph of the story.
I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go see what Barbie considers herself.
Boy, I have a
You
bridge
can
to sell you.
you can you can you can work on the outro while I'm looking that up.
Okay.
20. Yeah, see, it's considered a comedy fantasy.
Wow, they said feminism is a fantasy. That's crazy. It's got the double F, so points for
Yo,
for same letters.
Get us out of here before you incite a riot.
Well, guys, with that being said, the Bible said it was. This is a musical now. Early in the afternoon, and I'm gonna need all y'all to.
I'm tendering my resignation.
Taking your resignation, but the Lord will take you back. Take a deep breath and say it with me. Stay happy, stay healthy. Don't do anything we wouldn't do except watch some musicals and Joker 2. How about you? Ooh, but always keep on being creative. Ooh, I've been Marcell.
This is Money Green.
Wow, that was so flat. I need to hear that again in a C sharp, please.
Nah, I ain't doing that. You know what? I would watch a musical if they was rapping throughout the movie.
Wow, you were a hood rat classic.
Even that would be whack. Never mind. See, that's what I was gonna try to sell that, but nah. I can't stand on that. Neither.
Boys in the Hood, a musical. Let's take the crack out of the hood. Let our people sing proud. Take care, good day, and God bless. Bye. Yeah, girl.